for you, but what are you going to do?
I talked him into, I'll buy you a beer if you join me on KASM. Well, it might cost me 2 now. But, yeah, we got Logan Berg from the NRCS.
Howdy.
Good morning, Logan.
Morning.
And who else?
And we've got Supervisor Chuck Uphoff with us.
And good morning.
Chuck, welcome aboard. Logan
you.
and Chuck. Dennis, what'd you bring? So you're sick of, you're basically done, because this is 2 in a row now. You haven't brought Chris in. So you're done with Chris, it seems like.
Yeah, so, no, Chris is still around. He's acting to be somebody else down in southeast Minnesota. Assistant State Conservationist, pretty close to what his title is down there. So it would be a jump up. So he's actually managing more counties, more people, and doing that down in that part of the state. And then we've got acting team lead in our office right now, which is Katie Evans. But we also filled a position in our office, a non-supervisory district conservationist. And I think a lot of the listeners probably remember a character in our office, that shorter dude that worked for NRCS. His name was Steve Salnow. Yes, well, this is be like a Steve Salnow, except Logan doesn't have to supervise any staff, so he can just work on getting programs done. This will free up some of Chris's time to do more of the administrative duties across the service centers that he operates in Sherburne, Buffalo, Wright County, Elk River, Anoka, and those places. So I think this is going to be a real good fit. Logan has been working with it. Well, Logan, talk a little bit about yourself.
Let's meet Logan. No. We'll pull that one, because then you can interject when I miss something.
Okay.
That's what makes it easier for me. Logan, welcome aboard. How long have you been with NRCS?
Well, I've been with the NRCS about 3 years now, with the USDA about 5. And I grew up in a small little town called Now Then, Minnesota. Nobody's ever really heard of it.
Oh, no. I know where Now Then
Oh,
is.
yeah.
Now
North,
then,
North
I
Metro?
remember driving
North
through
Metro, yep.
Between like St. Francis and Princeton, Elk River?
Yep, basically, just east Elk River, about 5 miles.
Nice try.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Now Then.
When I went to school in North Dakota, they had asked me where I'm from. I said, I'm from Now Then. And they're like,
You're joking with
yeah,
me.
they're like, no, that's not a real place.
Yeah.
That's not a real place at all.
Logan Berg's a jerk. He won't tell me where he's actually from. He keeps making up this town.
Yeah, well, I live on Highway 22. It's the only road that goes east to west in Anoka County, so it's the best place to be.
Absolutely. So from Now Then, where'd you go to school? North Dakota, UND?
Oh, yeah, I went to North Dakota State.
Oh, NDSU.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
NDSU. Got my Bachelor of Science degree in Natural Resource Management. From then on, I went to APHIS, Animal Plant Health Inspection Service, and I actually worked in HR. It was my first job because jobs were kind of hard to find a few years ago. And then I jumped in with the Farm Service Agency after a year or so. And then since then, I've been with NRCS ever since in Elk River. And I just got hired on, as Dennis was saying, District Conservationist in Way Park.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sidebar, him being this close to someone who used to be in HR just gives Dennis a little PTSD from all of his run-ins over the years. But he'll sweat through it here.
It's kind of like when a police officer walks through the door. It's like, what
even
did
if
I
he
do?
didn't do anything, even if he didn't do anything wrong, he knows he's still on edge. But when in your youth, always had kind of a knack for getting outside, being a part of the community, and looking for a better soil future and stuff like that? Or how did you kind of get down your path?
Well, my grandfather has a small little 60-acre farm in just south of Now Then, technically called Ramsey, Minnesota. His name's Dennis Berg, and he's actually what got me into public service too. He was a county commissioner for over 20 years, and then he was always very focused on the land and how we treat the land. And we raised sweet corn and alfalfa, and we did it all by hand majority.
Awesome.
So picking sweet corn all summer long. Then he really taught us about conservation and taking care of the wildlife. And then all fall and winter, we spent time trapping, hunting, chasing deer, pheasants, and my favorite, geese.
There we go.
That's the best. And his farm was kind of unique because we had everything that waterfowl needed, from sweet corn stubble to ponds to the creek. The Trout Brook Stream actually runs
Like
right
an
through our farm.
amusement park for the
Oh,
geese
yeah.
there.
So-
Yeah.
And so it was a great time and a great place to grow up, and got to learn how to work hard and reap what you sow, basically.
And you kind of built that into, I want to stay outside. I want to keep being outside, playing, being active and working for conservation.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's where my passion was, and I didn't realize that's what it was until I started sitting in a classroom all day in North Dakota State University. It's like, oh, I should be outside, not sitting here learning about being outside.
Yeah, there's something I can do to get out there.
Yep.
Dennis, talk about Logan as an asset to your squad.
Oh boy, here we go.
It's huge. With Chris's job, that's a relatively they restructured NRCS and got rid of the district conservationist positions basically across the state, unless you were already grandfathered in. So Steve Salno retired, and we didn't have really a DC position with the longevity that Steve had for quite some time. So having a person like Logan come in to fill in a lot of the more technical aspects of the job versus Chris is more administrative and trying to do the technical, he just couldn't do it all. And, the amount of emails coming in from across the service centers that he needed to deal with a variety of things from vehicles to HR to the actual getting equip on the ground. Now having Logan in our office, he's going to be focused on delivering those programs. Mm-hmm. If our staff have questions about, hey, how do you handle this conservation practice on this farm? How do we put it in the conservation desktop? He'll be there to help provide guidance, and it's going to be huge. This is going to be very beneficial to the Wade Park Service Center.
Logan, you've been on the job a couple weeks now?
4 days?
4 days. So today's Thursday.
But I had the ability during COVID. I was actually my duty location was Elk River, but then I was able to come up to Wade Park. So I've actually been with the team since day one, basically, working with the Wade Park team and then working for, what'd you call it, Dennis? What's the term you've been using all week about the number one conservation district in the United States?
Yeah, the number one service center in the country. We were recognized by the National Conservation Planning Partnership as the number one service center in the United States United States of America. It's just amazing that we were recognized. And this is all part of the Mark Lefebvre being recognized for the Hugh Hammett Bennett Conservation Planner.
He needs more walls in his office for all the awards that are getting
exactly. And he just loves hearing that. He was with us the last time here, and he just was like, "Oh God, can we quit talking about me?"
not much of a spotlight guy, that Mark Lefebvre, from what we've gathered here on Partyline. But
yeah, so it was that was the foundational, and having a person like Logan, who we hope will stay in our office for a long time, and we got a sneaky suspicion that he might. You want to talk a little bit about your future?
Yeah, so I'm actually getting married in September.
Oh, congratulations.
And I'm actually marrying one of Dennis's employees, Kelly Molitor. She farms out in Benton County, over by Sauk Rapids. So, yeah, we just moved in on the farm, and I'm learning. She calls me a city slicker. I grew up on the farm my whole life. But so learning more about cattle and just helping her dad as much as possible.
Awesome.
And then we have aspirations to taking over the farm. And
you can invite Dennis to the wedding?
Would you?
No.
You're going to have to get more beer.
Is it an open bar? Because he beat me to the... Yeah,
well, there'll be enough beer to handle if he wants to come.
There we go.
Yeah.
Then be prepared. Just letting you know.
Yeah.
Have the Boy Scout motto in here.
That was just something that came through working with the office when I first started, and we became more than friends, and now we're getting married, and things are looking up.
Do you guys talk NRCS at home? Like arguments and...
Well, that's kind of what's nice, because we understand each other's issues that we're having, and we can work through it. And it's like you're not just speaking gibberish to another person. You can actually be like, hey, this is what we need to do. And
I wish I could help you, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Coincidentally, you know exactly what they're talking about.
Exactly what's going on. Yeah. So that's a perk that I never really got to see happen before, and it's working out fine so far.
Is that what the future's going to hold, Dennis? We'll put the Bergs on this job and get it figured out, basically.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's one thing. When Steve Salno was there, he was there for a long time, for decades, and it's that relationship that we build with the landowners that really results in conservation voluntarily being implemented. And having that relationship is so important to what we do, and having somebody like Logan sticking around in our office for hopefully years to come is really going to be beneficial to our landowners. So come on into the office, introduce yourself to Logan, and if you got resource concerns, he definitely can help you out along with our team. So, and maybe you could just talk a little bit about some of the things you wanted to cover, Logan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before we got Supervisor Chuck Uphoff here. I want to spend some time with that too.
And he's just been supervising thus far. He hasn't got to talk yet. So.
I'm just a listener.
Yeah, no, we can definitely talk.
No, let's do it, Logan. Yeah.
All right.
What are you looking forward to working with here?
Well, we just got notification that the RCPP sign up, one watershed, one plan for the North Fork Crow River just got announced. Application deadline is April 26th, and the practices are available on all land units, whether that's farmstead, cropland, pasture ground, whatever. If you're in the North Fork Crow River, we have dollars assigned to your farm if you guys concerns, definitely give us a call and we can see what we can do about it.
So if listeners are wondering, now where is that? What area is that? That would be southwest Stearns County. It would be like Belgrade to Paynesville, that portion.
Bruton too, I think.
Yep,
as
Belgrade,
well.
Bruton.
Yep.
So that portion of the county, any of our listeners that are farming in that area, they would be eligible for the RCP, which is the Regional Conservation Partnership Program.
Yes, I should say that.
And the One Watershed, One Plan is our planning area for the North Fork watershed area, not the watershed district, but that whole watershed area, which includes Pope, Candia High, Wright, Stearns, and a couple other little portions of Meeker in that planning area. So this is a special funds for just that project area. Yep. And actually, there's 4 other One Watershed, One Plan planning areas that also receive that RCPP funding, and that's outside of Stearns County, though.
Logan, do you notify growers on that, or do they need to contact you, or how do you get the ball rolling there?
Well, we do everything from letters to emails to Gov deliveries. It's the email service that the USDA provides. We try to put as much outreach as possible to these producers, but given that Stearns County is so vast, so large, and it's hard to send the message across the state too. But yeah, if they're interested and they got issues that they want to address, yeah, definitely just give us a call. That's the best way to get a hold of us.
Sure.
And we make a point to go out to the producers' sites. We don't do conservation from the office. That's what makes the Way Park Service Center so great, is we are boots on the ground from day one.
Your dream.
Yeah,
when you were in that classroom.
Absolutely, not sitting in an office all day. Exactly.
I want to get out there.
Yep, exactly.
Where's Belgrade? I got to find this out. I want to get over there.
Yeah, got to figure out what's going on over there.
Learn. Is the red onion open yet?
That's a good question.
It's got to be closer.
Yeah,
getting close
as the days go. So, contact you. What was that number to reach you?
Yeah, you can call my direct line 763-290-3458. That's my direct line.
Yeah. Otherwise, just send them to the office.
Yep, or send them to the office. And Dennis, you want to put that number in? I haven't memorized the office number yet.
That's 320-251-7800, and we're at extension 3.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
And ask for Logan or for Mark Lefebvre, and they'll get the project started for you.
Logan, what else you got on your sheet over there?
I just got one more thing. CRP general sign-up is still going. It's actually going until tomorrow. And then DNR just announced this morning that they are offering $100 to the acre for reforestation of any CRP ground that any producer might have. So that's huge.
Wow.
But I'm surprised that they didn't announce that earlier, but with only 2 days left. So get in your farm service agencies and call the office. Say, hey, I want to enroll in some CRP ground, and we'll see what we can do for you.
That's a nice little turnaround, basically. $100 an acre.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
Yeah,
I didn't. That's.
It was just before we left, they announced it, and
Wow.
Thank
goodness you
I had to
shared
write it
that.
down in pen and ink, not on my printed form here.
You brought the right guy.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So, listeners, if you got CRP and there's opportunity, is it got to be new forestry practices?
This is new sign up.
Okay.
Yeah, so any crop ground or row crop ground that has not been forested before or was historically, they're offering this
bonus.
quite bonus of a deal of $100 an acre. That's
How
almost
often
unheard of.
Would you? Yeah. So it's this hasn't happened before, basically.
Not with DNR, not
Yeah,
with
I don't
Minnesota
remember
DNR.
Yeah. So that's
And Dennis has
interesting.
been around forever, so if he doesn't
It's true.
know it,
Yeah.
I don't
What?
know.
No, I'm forever.
So Logan, is
Spin
this
that,
for- is
Chuck.
this
Spin
for
that
existing
microphone.
CRP or
You gotta-
oh,
There you go.
is this for existing CRP or some that's already been are new? Put it that way.
Yeah, this is all new ground, so not existing. So this is for the general sign-up, not a renewal sign-up. So brand new ground.
So their play here is to try to get some new, just to work forward with starting from the beginning as opposed to some recycled stuff.
Correct. Yep.
Okay, gotcha. That's big news, Dennis. I mean, $100 an acre.
That's huge.
Yeah, and I just wish they would have came out with it earlier instead of announcing it the day before the deadline. But as long as you get your name on the list, that's all it takes.
Okay.
Right.
So to get the ball rolling in that process, you got to get moving pretty much now.
Yep, just give the office a call.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and it would start over at the Farm Service Agency with the sign-up process. Steve Frericks and his crew.
Yep. Yeah, FSA administers the CRP program. NRCS just assists with the technical side of things, developing conservation plans. And Dennis's team, like Jason and Ryan, Jake, they maintain those plans and they're the ones to go to. But any more questions on the technicality side of things too?
Look at the new guy learning names.
Yeah, right? Oh, yeah.
Well, I went to school with Jake too, so
there
I
you
know
go.
some of these
You got-
guys.
You got a little bit of help right there. We're up against the clock, Mr. Fuchs. What do we talk about second half of the hour? Obviously, we're going to pick on this guy.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Supervisor Chuck Uphoff, all he's done, how great he is, and where he's going.
And I'm sure you have some events coming around the corner as well.
Yeah, we do, but I might hold off on them a little bit just to talk more about Chuck.
Okay, a little farther in the distance.
We'll see how much Chuck wants to talk to.
Perfect. There we go. We're going to take a break. We have Logan Berg, Chuck Uphoff, and Dennis Fuchs in from Soil Water Conservation District here today on Partyline. Much more to come. Partyline brought to you by Wimmer Opticians and Chiropractic Connection. We break back to On Sara's Partyline on your Thursday. Partyline brought to you by Wimmer Opticians and Chiropractic Connection. Soil Water Conservation District right here in Stearns County. All right, sir. You ready to get grilled front to back, Mr. Uphoff?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Put him to the coals here. Dennis, what'd you bring Chuck in for today?
Okay, so Chuck has been a supervisor for over
24 years.
24 years, which is amazing. He's been a great addition to the board, and the SWCD board is an elected position, and they help set the conservation policy in the county, at the state, and at the federal level. And it's just the grassroots way of introducing policy. And they also direct staff, myself, and the team below us on things that we should be working on, set priorities for the county as far as natural resource protection. And Chuck has just been a leader. He's been working with everybody here locally, from the local community of New Munich to county commissioners to our state legislators, to shaking hands with Secretary Vilsack when he was at the University of Minnesota campus when we were rolling out the Minnesota Ag Water Quality Certification Program. So there's just he's been around the block once or twice. We also went through the Minnesota Ag Rural Leadership Program, which was another great opportunity to meet other folks and expand our network. And Chuck developed a great relationship with Representative Paul Torkelson from southern Minnesota. When the Republicans were the majority, he was the lead on the Ag Committee and Transportation, and it was just a great connection there that Chuck had and developed with these folks. So the supervisor is just like a conduit to these other folks that help us accomplish what we need to do to protect and sustain our resources, including agriculture here in Stearns County. And Chuck, you want to give them a little information about yourself, your what you used to do and what you're doing now as you have reached the retirement age?
Yeah, actually, I bought the farm in 1980, got married in 1981, and I was a dairy farmer at that time, and I thought, oh God, this is something I really like to do, and who would ever think that I would have gotten involved in conservation as much as I did? But I kind of look back at it and I think, well, on the coarse textured soils that we had on the farm, the sandier ground, my dad used to put rye in all the time. And, I saw some of those things going on. But as soon as I took over the farm, the moldboard plow hit the dirt and it was gone. And we bought chisel plow and tried to contour the hills because we do have quite hilly terrain. And kind of went through that whole thing. And then all of a sudden, talking about Steve Selnow, I got a call one day, and my wife answers the phone and goes, Chuck, Steve Selma wants to talk to you. And the first thing I said is, oh, God, what do I do now? Anyway, Steve asked me if I would be interested in a supervisor position for the SWCD. And so, I thought, well, okay, I didn't think I really had the time for it, but my wife kind of pushed me and said, go ahead and try it. So I went out and tried it, and 24 years, here I am. And it's been just, it's been a fantastic ride. I mean, I never in my wildest dreams would have thought that I would have done all the things that I've done. And you think of yourself as a farmer and just being around home and taking care of that. But boy, has this expanded my network.
Sure.
I mean, I'm not kidding you. And all the people, like Dennis said, that I have met over the years and the things that I have done and speaking engagements and just, oh my gosh, it goes on and on. And I am pretty much amazed. And And another one of the reasons why I'm here today is we're looking for somebody to take over my position on the Stearns SWCD board. And it has to be somebody from Ashley, Raymond, Getty, Sauk Center, Melrose, Grove, Oak, or Millwood Township, that northwest corner of the county. And I would really, I guess, I mean, it doesn't make any difference, I guess, if it's male or female, but I would really like to see a female on the board because I just think it gives a different perspective. Women give a different perspective. And that just makes to me, makes a board unite more and think a little bit differently. And so that is part of it. And then, you know, anybody out there that would have an interest at all in it, please give Dennis a call, or you can give me a call at 320-250-5395, and we can discuss a little bit more about it.
Chuck, when you look back, you know, starting 24 years ago, year 2000 to now 2024, what kind of progress are you seeing that you're proud of through your time on the board at the SWCD?
You know, things have changed so much in that time frame. As we all know, change is something that just, it seems to speed up over time. And you know, when I first got on the board, we pretty much did grass waterways and manure storage structures, or manure pits. And, you know, that was trying to teach people a little bit about different types of tillage methods. To now it's lakeshore improvements, work on riverbank sloughings, huge gullies. We still do manure pits, of course. Cover crops is big now, trying to get people to look into cover crops. Myself and now my son has taken over the farm. We do no-till. So to get people to understand that no-till really does work.
I was going to say, I could feel Dennis's skin crawling when you talked about it in the 80s, you know, chisel plow and stuff like that. I could see those teeth just gritting over there. Yeah.
So, you know, there has been so much change. I mean, it's almost unbelievable. But for the opportunities that being on the board has given me to, like Dennis said, sit down and talk to the Ag Secretary, Vilsack, for 5 minutes about what we do in Stearns County. And you know, being in Washington, D.C., and being in the Morrow program and touring the whole state of Minnesota and learning about different types of agriculture. I mean, forestry is agriculture, and so we studied forestry. We went through wild rice production. Everything. I mean, and even a 2-week stint in South Africa to study ag in South Africa, and that is something I will remember forever.
From New Munich to South Africa. Who would have thought, right?
You got it. You got it.
With Secretary Vilsack along the way.
Exactly.
You never knew whose hand you were going to shake at your role
That's
on
right.
the board.
That's right.
And through that opportunity now, someone called you once upon a time. Have you been reaching out looking for candidates, or you kind of letting that kind of rear its own head? Or?
I have been reaching out. I have actually for the last year and a half already been kind of feeling the waters and asking people and spreading the word, and haven't had a ton of people calling back. But I just want to say too, this isn't an ag related job. I mean, it can be somebody from a local community, Sauk Center, Melrose, Greenwald, whatever, and it can be somebody on a lake. So everybody has a perspective in life, and everybody has. I mean, a ton of people are interested in conservation, and you just have to have a conservation mind, so to speak.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's what I was going to add, Chuck. I think the bottom common denominator of this person that we're looking for is to have a conservation ethic. And it doesn't matter if you're a banker, a nurse, a school teacher, a bus driver. as long as you have a conservation ethic, I think is what the board would like to see, and Chuck would like to see for a person. So this person would be appointed to fill out Chuck's term. Chuck will be resigning. His last day is June 30th, and this person would then start the second week of July at that board meeting. Typically, we have monthly board meetings, and they're typically the second Tuesday of the month. They run from 9 to 1 p.m. That is the minimum of the duties to do. To be a SWCD supervisor, to participate in those meetings and do your homework before those meetings start. Our board packets do range in size from 100 to 200 pages with a lot of information associated with projects that we're implementing, the cost share documents and stuff like that. And Chuck is very good at taking a look at that material and shares concerns or ideas or thoughts on a lot of these projects, which has just been so valuable to us staff to have a person with that dedication as a supervisor. And we'd love to see that continue. And I think Chuck would love to see that.
Exactly.
Having that opportunity, Chuck, so, working through the board, through your area, the rest of the board, obviously you've got great relationships there, so it's a good spot for networking like you had talked about, and an opportunity to learn and grow through other board members.
Exactly. And, I've had some great fellow board members over those last 24 years, and we've had, like I said, different perspectives. We've had real people that were involved in real estate, which was really a nice fit. Now we have Matt Bruette, who's a crop consultant. We have Arlen Lorenz, who's a retired ag teacher. So we got variety, and then we have a couple farmers besides, even myself, and it's just always been a good fit, and there's been a lot of good mentorship along the way.
Dennis, talk a little bit about your relationship with Chuck. So he started 24 years ago, so you were there for about 25 years before he started, it sounds like.
I started in 96. So March 25th of 96 is when I started. So I'm celebrating 28 years. And Chuck became a supervisor in 99, right? If I got that correct?
Yes, I think so.
And we've had a long career together. And I tell you, it has been just fantastic. I've seen other soil water conservation districts across the state where they don't have a progressive, passionate board with good conservation ethics that just struggle to move forward. The Stearns SWCD is recognized across the country as one of the best, and there's a reason for that. We've got a great board, and with their support, we continue to deliver what they want to see across the county. And for Chuck, he was actually recognized last year by the Minnesota Association of Soil Water Conservation Districts as the outstanding supervisor. He was recognized by the Minnesota Erosion Control Association as the environmental leader for the state of Minnesota. So there's just the stuff and time that Chuck has put in to deliver, protect and conserve our natural resources is tremendous. And you don't get paid much as a SWCD supervisor. you get a per diem of $125 for a meeting. So basically you're giving up a day to do your homework and attend a meeting. So just the public service by Chuck to help us do our job better is just a tremendous commitment. I mean, that you don't see a lot of that, and I think it's part of the problem. Everybody's so busy, and it's difficult to find somebody that wants to take the time to do what Chuck is doing. But I know there's people out there, and that's why we're on KASM, and we're talking about it, and hopefully we find a listener. Like Chuck said, you got to live, you got to reside in the county. It's the 8 townships in the northwest portion of Stearns County, and the job would be to finish out Chuck's term. So his term comes to an end next
2.5 years.
Yeah, in 26.
Right.
And so the term comes to the end in 2026. And then we're hoping that the individual that steps into his shoes would be willing to put their name on the ballot and continue. It's an open ballot process. Anybody can always put their name in the hat to proceed, and we encourage folks to do that. And may the best person win. That's what democracy is about. and that's what we want to see. But we need somebody to just cover Chuck's remaining term here. He's got a lot of grandkids, and what do you say, Chuck? You never got to know your...
Yeah, I never got to know my grandparents, so they all
That's
passed
changing
away.
now at the Uphoff house. I'm sounding
It
like.
definitely is.
There
And
we
I
go.
said, I want those grandkids to know who I am.
There we go. That's a good way to
So-
look at it too.
That's the way, I mean, and that is why I do want to resign. That's one of the main things. And also just to get
Some
fresh ideas.
Yeah, look at that.
Right.
So the opportunity, you had your shift.
Yep.
You did. You accomplished things that you had maybe set out to accomplish, and now
That's
you want to
right.
get some fresh blood in there and see what they can stir up.
That's right. And I tell you, they will enjoy it. I mean, I really enjoy the board meetings. Dennis said already he really enjoys the board meetings. And it's just, I don't know, it's fun. And it's such a learning experience. It's just unbelievable. Like, all I can say is whoever wants to take over, study your acronyms. Every time I go through the minutes and stuff,
What's this
I'm
now?
going, okay, I come on, think, Charlie. You know what that is.
One after another.
One
too.
after another.
Yeah.
Yes,
Whoever the person is, we do help with onboarding the new person, and we do have a cheat sheet
Sure.
for all these acronyms, and it is crazy. And you go for a month or two, and another one pops up, RCPP. It's like, now what's that? So it's crazy, but yeah, we do provide assistance to whoever the person is to make sure that they can streamline right into the position, get onboarded properly.
And I actually, at times, I get on the computer and I look at other districts' board minutes and stuff, and I think, oh my God, their meeting only lasted an hour, and ours takes at least 4, maybe 5.
Yeah.
I mean, we have so much stuff, and that's why we are noted as one of the best conservation districts across the United States.
No stone unturned type of deal.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I was just going to add, being part of the first board meeting last week, this board meeting is not one, when you think of a board meeting, you think of, oh my God, this is going to take forever. It's just long, drawn-out conversation. No, this is stuff that actually matters. This is stuff that's actually interesting to listen
pertinent
to.
stuff.
And it's problems we have to tackle, and we get it done. And that's what's so nice about the Stearns board meeting is everyone who's there wants to be there. They want to take on the problems.
Sure. And Logan brings up a good point right there that you got into this, Chuck, because you wanted to make a change, and then that next person's going to have that same passion as well.
That's right. That's exactly right. And I know I've often said, I mean, I was board chair for about 10 years or something. And I always said, board meetings are business, but they're also fun. Mm-hmm. And if you take the fun away, people don't enjoy board meetings anymore. And they aren't going to stick forth their whole effort to try to get conservation on the ground, so to speak.
So if someone in the northwest corner of the county is listening right now and is potentially thinking that, well, if Chuck Uphoff can do it, I could do it. Maybe I could do 24 years there. Dennis, how do they get the ball rolling? Is it contact you guys?
Yeah, you can either give Chuck Uphoff a call, and Chuck, if you want to share your phone number, that's up to you.
Yep, 320-250-5395.
Or you can give the office a call and talk to me at 320-251-7800, extension 3.
Logan, what's the phone number to the office?
I have no idea. I just heard it twice.
You just said it twice.
Yeah. You got to write it down.
I know my number.
Yeah, there we go.
A lot of times I like to give the listeners a heads up. Okay, I'm going to be giving you a phone number. Get a pen.
Get a pen.
Yeah.
Do you got a pen? Okay, good to go. Wow. Rounding third here. We got a couple minutes left. Dennis, an opportunity. Did you want to talk about your schedule, or how did you want to round home?
So I think I brought this up in a former show that the Stearns SWCD is celebrating 75 years of existence this year, and we're going to be doing a conservation tour, which is going to be invite only. We're going to try to get a lot of dignitaries there, but we're going to gather afterwards at the Art in Motion. You see, I don't want to say hobo. Boho Cafe in Holdingford. And that'll be on Thursday, June 13th. We'll be meeting at the Boho Cafe.
You biking there?
I might have to work the bus detail.
Okay.
But
Because it's a perfect spot right off the Lake
it is.
Wobegon Trail.
I have,
And I
biked
know
it.
you like to get the knees up and down.
Yes,
So.
and that is a beautiful spot. Yeah, I've been in there. I've enjoyed their brews and food. It is a fantastic addition to the Holdingford community, having that Boho Cafe Art in Motion, and that's where we're also kicking off We Are Water, a celebration that'll be coming up here April 25th. To June 16th. So we'll have an exhibit at Art in Motion. So check that out. But the day that you can have an opportunity to meet Chuck Uphoff is Thursday, June 13th. And if you got at Art in Motion, after 3 o'clock, that'll be an opportunity to have a beer and a sandwich and just celebrate a career of conservation delivery from the man.
There it is. Left the man speechless. He's got no rebuttal to that.
Yeah.
What was that? April?
No, that's in June. So
that's June. Yeah.
We
Sorry.
got time. Yeah, Thursday,
Gotcha.
June 13th. So that's a ways. Everybody will be done planting by then, and they'll probably have the first cutting of hay up, and it's just going to be a wonderful time to get together. And the We Are Water exhibit that'll coming up. That's coming up quicker. That's a special exhibit that we're kicking off another planting area for the Mississippi River Sartell, which is that northeast portion of Stearns County and goes up to Morrison and up to Crow Wing. And that is going to kick off April 25th. So we'll have lots of more information on that. I'll come back on if I'm invited back, Kirby.
I'll have you back. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You did a good job today.
And we'll talk more about that. We Are Water, and might even bring Stephanie Hatzenbeeler, our water plan coordinator, and/or Brittany Lensmeyer to talk a little bit more about that special exhibit that we're working with Art in Motion to have that here in Stearns County, which is really, really cool.
And of course, all your events are on your website as well.
Yes.
Get the calendar out there.
And we'll dig into that a little bit deeper next time we're online. But if there's any folks out there that have that conservation ethic and passion to protect our resources here in Stearns County and live in that 8 township area and would like to make that commitment, give us a call. And my phone number at the office is
251 7800
7800
extension 2.
No, 3.
Extension's 3. See, I was almost going to rub his nose in it right there. It's tougher than it looks. Yeah.
Extension 2 is FSA, ain't it?
Yeah. They'll
There
get
we
you.
go.
They would get you there,
Extension
too.
3. I almost
Yeah.
had it. Well,
And-
Chuck, congratulations on a
Well, thank you
fantastic
very
career.
much.
Thanks for coming by. Logan, nice meeting you. You're welcome
you
back
too.
anytime. And
Thank you.
Dennis, adios, pal. There we go.
Thank you, Kirby, for having us here
thank you.
again.
You bet. That is
Appreciate it.